Hi, it's Ali from Reading in the Rain, and today is the Christmassy second meeting of the UKYA in the Rain book club, and we're talking about The Next Together by Lauren James. It's just going to be me and Kiara again today, so I'm just going to invite her to the chat and then we'll begin. Now I just need to find her.
Hey.
Hello again.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, can do. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep, we're good. I'm trying out these new headphones, so we'll see how it goes.
So, this book today?
Oh, yeah. I gotta grab it. Got it. Did you like it?
I finished it a couple of days ago, and I'm still trying to process how I thought, because there were so many good things and then a couple of bad things which I kind of need to get my head around first, but
yeah,
I think I liked it overall.
Yeah, I did too. I think it was the whole concept was pretty interesting, actually. Like, it totally grabbed my attention, and then they had the different relationships and stuff were really cool, and how they were unique but then again the same too, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah.
So what would be your rating out of 5?
I think I gave it a 4 on Goodreads. I think that's what I did, and yeah, I think it's gonna stay at a 4, maybe 3.5 if I give it more thought. But it was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. There's just a few things that I disliked about it that would have given it that 5 if I guess I agreed with them. I don't know. But what about you?
I think whilst reading it, it was a 5 out of 5, and then finishing it and reflecting on it, it'd probably be 4-ish.
Yeah. It's funny how that changes after you think about it for a few days, and then you're like, well, yeah.
Really strange, but reading it, I absolutely adored it. It was
me too.
Very, what's the word? Like, it just captured your attention just throughout it.
And it was so funny too. Like, I can't remember. Like, it was the terrorist Kate and Matthew or whatever.
In 2039?
Yeah. No, 2019. Yeah, that one. She was so funny. She had me laughing out loud. Like, that's what I really enjoyed about it, was her comedy was so funny. So I think she was probably my favorite couple. The modern day one, I guess. But they were all pretty cool. See?
So as you said, it's a very funny book. It's a really, really funny book. But because is this book sort of called a romance time travel book with comedy in it. Do you think it worked mixing all those genres, because they're very different genres, to sort of make a hybrid out of? Do you think that was done well?
Let me think about that, because I didn't really think about that. But now that you bring it up, like, that, you're right. They're totally, completely different.
The only romantic time travel book that I can think of that's out there is The Time Traveler's Wife, which is much different to this book, because this is much more funnier. That one's really quite emotional and quite sad.
I've never read that one, but I think she did a pretty good job of it. I mean, that must have been really hard to do, because you're also taking like 4 different couples and like turning their story together. But yeah, there's like an enough sense of drama, but then also the comedy relief, kind of, where you had like those email notes or something like that from the modern day one, and then you had the future couple trying to figure it all out. And I don't know, I think it was pretty well done, because like I said, that's pretty hard to do. So I think I mean, I would never be able to do it. That's like a lot of work.
Yeah. What was I about to say? On the, like, because the time periods, there are 4 different ones, and well, if you count the 2019 one with the start of the chapter and end of the chapter sort of clips from that time period, so there are 4. Did you think, because one of the problems I had was that sometimes I felt I couldn't connect to the characters as much as I would have wanted to, because it was done in a way that it wasn't like each chapter was a different time period. It was like one chapter encapsulated all of the time periods.
Right.
Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. That because it was kind of really quick in a sense where you're just jumping back and forth between all these characters. And that kind of puts you off a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of hard. Yeah, you're right, to like connect with them in a sense, like a deep connecting, because there's a lot of different characters with a lot of different situations. But then again, they're the same character, but still. Yeah, I guess if there was like each person had their own chapter, would have been kind of more easier to follow, I guess. But yeah.
I think you just said it, but which time period was your favorite?
It was, well, the one let me go. How about this? The one I hated the most, or like disliked the most, was the England one in 1745. That Catherine, she like really bugged me for some reason. She was so like, I don't know. She bugged me really bad. But I think the 2019 one, because that Catherine was so funny and I just loved her. But yeah, I think that was my favorite one. The 2030 or whatever, 39 one wasn't very funny. But I mean, I had some problems with their relationship. But I think the 2019 one. What about you?
Because I really didn't. I agree with you. I didn't particularly like the Catherine, the 1745 Catherine. She was quite. I didn't particularly like her character, but the romance between her and that version of Matthew, was my favorite. I think because it was the I think that was the most developed one. Like it had like a clear beginning of the romance and then a middle and then an end.
Yeah,
whereas the
right.
2039 one, which it's understandable why they just sort of, it's like an insta love because they have had past together.
But I still hated it for some reason. Like it was too quick for me. And I get it. Like I get they were like lovers in a past time, but still, like I don't know, they barely like knew each other and they're like making out, but I mean, it's whatever. But yeah, it wasn't okay.
Yeah, so that I liked that relationship the most, even though I didn't like that Catherine the most. And it's kind of weird. I have like different bits for that one. That's my favorite romance. I liked the 18 something.
Yeah, 54 or something like that.
Yeah,
the writer. Yeah, 1854.
Yeah, because he was a writer and he had a lot more emotional like depth and like some of his other ones. And then 2019 Catherine is like, she's my spirit animal.
He's so funny. Yeah.
And then 2039 I liked, but the insta love just understandable. It's just annoying.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I liked the relationship between the 1854 Catherine and Matthew, because like that Mulan sense or whatever, where she like had to be like a boy for a long time, and then he like forgave her really quickly, and then also like started to care about her in a sense, and they had a really strong friendship first, which I really liked, and then they didn't even like fall in love yet because he went back, right? And so
yeah,
it was just, and then he realized he loved her, so it was this kind of like that cool dynamic that I appreciated from that relationship.
What did you think of that Matthew going back to the 1740?
It confused me so much because I thought they would switch, like, you know, but I guess that Matthew from 1745 like died, and then the Matthew from 1854 like remembered when he went back or something like that. It was really confusing, but I thought it was interesting because he's like, "You're not my Catherine," and she's like, "You're not my Matthew." So it was like, but they are each other's Matthew and Catherine, but they didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, it freaked me out because I was like, he died. So I was like freaking out, but it was just really interesting, I guess. But then kind of confusing at the same time. But then it all made sense later on. So
Did you think it came to a good conclusion? Like, did you get all the answers? Because I thought it was quite confusing, which I'm presuming was done purposely so that in the next book, the last
it'll all tie up.
Yeah, but it's frustrating because it's like I want to know it all now.
Right. No, I'm so confused by that ending. That was so confusing because it's like Clove is like, so was it like Tom who's been programming this entire like event or what?
I was thinking. I wasn't like it bugged me how like the reason why they're going back is to have Clove, and yet it happens in like the space of 4 pages. She realizes she's pregnant, then she has the kid, and she realizes that's what it was all for.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 pages, and it's just, and then the epilogue got me because you can have it in 4 pages and like leave it on like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But the last bit with Tom, I wasn't sure whether it was like Tom doing all this.
Yeah, that makes me wonder like if it was Tom who was doing it all, and then, but why does Clove call him dad? Like, is Tom raising the kid or something? Because then they are like, what is it, fugitives or whatever?
I think they are because it mentions because Matthew went to jail. The last
Right,
one.
and then Catherine or Kate or whatever got him out.
Yeah, and so I think they left Clove with Tom, but I mean,
yeah,
you could just say I'm your uncle, and then
right. That's what was confusing. And then I don't know. So I think it is like Tom was like doing it all.
I even started thinking whether Clove in the future program
Was doing it. Yes, that's what I was wondering too, because I just saw this. It says like, in the or like the encyclopedia pages or whatever, and it says the infamous Clove last name I can't pronounce. So I'm wondering if she was the one who's been doing it.
Yeah, because right at the end,
Potter.
it has
yeah, all the Clove things. Yeah.
So I was thinking, is that why? Because if so, that makes it's really weird. If Clove programmed it so that she would be born, then it's really strange. I'm hoping to get all the answers in the next book.
Yeah, I know. Now I just noticed that like on page 355, there's like the time 1945, and then on the next page there's like time 1805, 1854, and all these dates, which is like that's I want to know.
Where's 355?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like the fact that in that bit at the bottom where it's got references, it actually has the last beginning, which is the next book. So
yeah.
So surely that means that we'll have the answers.
Hopefully, because that's so confusing. But yeah, it was like it kind of blew my mind a little bit to make like how she ended it, making me think all these things, right? And I'm probably just gonna be wrong too. But
yeah, just come out with something absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Missed this entirely.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm interested to see what's gonna happen in the next one.
Same. So you'll read the next one then? Maybe.
I mean, I've got so many books to read, but probably when it comes out, because this just was released, right?
I think so. It's definitely new this year.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah, so maybe by next year I'll read it. Hopefully.
Signed. So cute.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cute.
I know. I've been meaning to read it so badly. It's just so good. I know it was at an event and I met her and she was so lovely, and when she was talking,
oh, yeah.
I need the book now.
Well, sweet. And we read it. I like the cover though. The cover was like
so shiny. It's so good. I know people say, like, everyone says don't judge a book by a cover, and everyone just goes, you can judge the cover.
Yeah, oh yeah, duh. I do it all the time. But yeah, I like all the detail in it. it's pretty
The
interesting.
one thing that I don't like is the Matthew and Catherine, because they don't look like I want them to look. Catherine has like big frizzy hair, like big frizzy ginger hair.
Really?
Specify that, but
You can't even see their faces though.
no, but I mean, it looks good. It does look good like that.
Yeah.
Like,
if you just uncover, yeah, okay. I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
I have another question. What
Mhm.
Another thing that makes this book so unique is like the inclusion of all the sort of
the emails and stuff.
things,
Yeah.
emails and maps and letters and diary entries. What did you think of that?
I thought it was so unique, actually, because I mean, it gave a lot of, well, I liked how it gave insight onto the 2019 couple, and because you didn't really get to know about them because you don't have their own chapters because they're dead, but it gave a lot of insight onto what their relationship was like and what they were doing and how they were trying to get behind this attack that was going to wipe out like the human race or whatever. So that was really cool, and I enjoyed reading them. That's kind of, I think that's, I told you about Illuminae, that orange looking book. I don't know. But what?
Have you read that one? I'm presuming you've read it.
I haven't read it, but I want it. But it's told through like, yeah, it's told through like emails and messages and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. That books are written like that. So that's kind of what it reminded me of. But I liked seeing their fridge notes, which is really funny.
That whole conversation on the fridge notes.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Yeah, I think I like how they did that because it makes it so much more inclusive and almost more of a mystery. It's like it is
Exactly.
There are so many genres in this book that have just been mashed together. Right.
And I didn't even know what was going on half the time until like the final like clue hit, and then you're like, oh. But yeah, I think it was really well written for the type of like detail, I guess, that was needed for it. But I liked it, and it all kind of came together, I guess, and then fell apart because now I don't know what's happening now. But yeah, it was
I liked it. Did you notice or like the fact that almost all of the different time periods kind of followed the same plot in like different ways? There was always some romance and then something like a lie or like a hidden or a secret got in the way, and then they got together, and then death, destruction, that stuff.
Yeah, I think it would have been better almost to just do different plots for their relationship or their stories, I guess. There was different plots, but like you said, it was kind of going in the same direction for all of them in a sense. So I think that would have been cooler, I guess, to have different like dramas or problems, I guess, within their relationship. But then again, there was, because I mean, they were doing this war in Scotland and Jacobites and stuff like that, and then the 19 or 1800 one was like traveling to the war or whatever. So I mean, well, yeah, there's war in all of them almost. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been cooler, I guess, just to do a little bit different tweaking on their storyline, I think. So.
Yeah, I kind of agree. But then again, because I'm very torn upon this because it's like I would like to see something a bit different with each one. That's not just dependent on the time period. But then again, if they'd been different stories, I'm not sure whether I would be able to have followed them as well.
Yeah.
Because it would have been like, so they're doing something else, and then they're doing something else, and then they're doing something else, and then there's the other ones that are doing something else, and then
yeah, it definitely would have been more, I guess, confusing, I think. Then even making you think more, I think. I don't know. Probably if I was reading that way, I would have been really frustrated. So I say that now, but I think that I mean the way she did it was pretty good. So
yeah, what she did I think was great, but I'm very torn against that. Oh gosh,
yeah,
the notebook's falling everywhere. What did you think of which time period was it? 2013 39, the fact that Katie, not Catherine, one of them, went to go find out more about her aunt Kate, that they went to go see her grandmother's. Like, I think that was very subtle.
Oh, it was so subtle. I had to reread it again. I was kind of confused because she said grandparents, so obviously I think, you know, a husband and wife. But then I had to like reread it because I was like, wait, there's another lady in here, and then I reread it, and then I was like, oh, so yeah, that was super subtle. But
I thought that was quite cool, and I like it's like, I'm not sure whether she meant it on purpose or whether like it was either it was just like a little thing about like gender equality, or not gender equality, but LGBT stuff, or whether it was like her thinking about what could happen in the future, like whether it might just be adopted, but or it could just, no, it's not adopted because they said she had her hair or something like that. So it's almost as if they in the future she thinks that there'll be some sort of engineering or genetic thing that lets lesbian couples, and I'm presuming gay couples too, like have their own children. And there were things like that when they were just sort of like her little predictions on what might happen. Well, it might not be, but
yeah, I gave a little bit of insight onto what could happen, I guess. But yeah, it was neat.
Kind of gone over all my questions in quite a quick time.
Oh, I know. Look at us. We're getting better because we didn't waste like 15 minutes trying to turn on the thing.
Yeah, I was prepared this time.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you would want different other than maybe less insta-love and more plot changes? Anything else?
No, actually, I think it was all pretty. I mean, like you said, the way it was hard kind of to connect with the characters because they switched back and forth so quickly. But I think everything else was pretty well done because you kind of, I mean, yeah, like I didn't really get confused about what Catherine or Kate or whatever I was reading about. I mean, the font change was nice, but yeah, I think it was, I mean, I didn't really have any other problems with it besides the ones that you mentioned, so.
I did not notice the font change.
Oh, you didn't?
No!
Yeah. It was like nice for me to like, I caught that. I was like, oh, okay, now I know who I'm talking about.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and the font kind of went with like the time period almost. Like the 2039 was a more like modern feel to it, I guess. And then
that's so cool.
Yeah.
There are so many just slight subtleties in here.
It's full of detail is what it is. And I don't know what's gonna happen in the next one, but so many different things can happen because she built it up to be something super big. So we'll see. But I liked all the detail and stuff.
I'm so excited to read the next one. I'm not. Does it say when it's out? I'm just having a look. Oh, it doesn't. It just says don't miss the sequel.
Yeah, it'll probably be out next year, maybe.
I'm looking through my notes. Trying to see if I made any notes for other questions, but I do actually think we've just gone through everything.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well.
So we can either finish up here or.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've pretty much talked about the whole entire book, so. I know, it sounds good. But yeah. What time is it there for you? 6?
5:25.
5:25. That's right. It's 9:25 here.
I find it so weird.
Yeah, right.
It's pitch black outside.
It's what?
It's pitch black. It's completely dark.
Really? It's so stormy here right now. I'm watching my trees like almost fall because of the wind, but I love it. So, anyways, sweet.
So yeah, we'll finish up there. Hopefully next time, if we have some more people that we can fill out.
Fill out time more. Yeah.
So yeah, the new page with all the new books for the next vote should be up now. I scheduled it to go up at 5, so it should be up. And I've tried to include some different genres again. So there's some crime, there's some fantasy, there's some dystopia. I think there are 2 dystopia actually. So
Cool.
Yeah, so we can go put that and it'll be good.
Awesome. All right.
Okay, I need to press stop broadcast now. So
Yeah.